implement the world. Thank you. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. It is Hugo Quintanilla here with another live. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. And again, thank you so much for whoop, there we go. Thank you so much for everything. Oh my goodness, we're a little crooked too today. Let me adjust you guys a little bit, make you guys look a little bit better. I look a little bit better. There we go. A little bit better. Sorry about that. Today we are doing home wisdom, recognizing the signs for major system repairs. We're going to be live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, on LinkedIn, and on Twitch.com. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free and leave them on your platform of choice. Let's go ahead and dive in. These are 10 signs it's time to repair the major systems in your home. So keep your notepads steady and let's get ready. Age of systems. Consider the average lifespan of key systems like HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. If they are reaching or surpassing their life expectancy, it might be time for an inspection or potential upgrade. It doesn't hurt to be active when it comes to actually taking care of these things because a little can go a long way. And more than anything else, you should attentive to the things that could be a big ticket item, especially when it's least convenient. So make sure you are taking your time to keep track of systems, of the maintenance that you've done for systems, and the maintenance that was done before you own the property. Number two, frequent repairs. If you find yourself frequently fixing the same issue, it could be a sign of a deeper problem. Repeated repairs might indicate the need for a comprehensive examination. And really, it's just like a car. If you're fixing the same part again and again and again, it's probably the indication of a greater problem. And it doesn't hurt to try to address it because in addressing it, you could actually probably save yourself a bigger headache. And in the long run, we're trying to save you, we're trying to earn you peace of mind. And that is really priceless. Sometimes a little bit of prevention can go a long way. So if you're seeing those frequent repairs, make sure to maybe budget a little bit more in savings to make that big ticket repair. Number three, increase utility bills. A sudden spike in utility bills without a corresponding increase in usage could suggest inefficiencies in systems like heating, cooling, or water. If all of a sudden you're getting a huge leak and you're just starting to always have higher bills for some reason, that could be an indication that something's wrong. Something's either on in the system, something's permanently just going, something's not measuring correctly or not being turned off, or maybe even theft. Somebody could be stealing your utilities at another property. That's kind of the furthest thing from my mind, because typically it's usually because of user error. you'd be surprised how much appliances and certain appliances can suck energy from the outlets in a passive off state. So, especially as we go into this world of more and more smart devices and electrical units, that's going to be one of the biggest challenges is servicing these huge electrical wirings and outlets and voltage demands, and can use this cord with that cord and this with that without causing a problem. That's going to be the biggest thing I foresee in the future when it comes to these utility bills. Also, a big tip: if you shut everything off in your home, theoretically, when it comes to water, your water meter should stop running. If your water meter continues to run, there could be a leak somewhere in your home. Now, there's a real way to make a system 100% efficient, but a leak could be an indication of a bigger problem or in the business of preventing problems. So, when you go out on a trip, they suggest that if it's not a long trip, that you shut off everything and, check to see if your water meter is still running. You could have a running toilet, you could have a faucet running, and water is a very expensive utility. So make sure they're keeping an eye on that. And lastly, I'll suggest that when it comes to gas, that you double check the stovetops when it comes to the ranges. There was a huge movement to update legislation in regards to gas ranges used in apartments and condos. So make sure you're staying on top of that. But more than anything else, make sure that you're servicing your unit to not only make sure that your tenants are safe, but make sure that you and your family are safe. You can always have a leak on those range tops, and that could cause poisoning, it could cause nausea, it could cause sickness, it could cause cancer in the long run. More than else, what they noticed was that having gas ranges caused, I believe, higher indexes of asthma and other respiratory diseases in infants and small children. So there's a noticeable uptick. Are there other factors? Possibly, but that was the claim in the lawsuit that we saw up, I believe, in New York. There's also been a big push here locally to prevent these systems from being used or to modernize them or phase them out, just because of the sheer problem there's been in the last few years of major explosions during the winter season. Sometimes, inappropriate use of heating elements. Um, in an attempt to try to save some money, it can really cause a dangerous situation in an apartment complex. And we hear those tragic stories of several people being displaced or losing their lives due to a tragedy such as that, and you hate to hear it. I had a listing that was on sale, and the building next to it was unfortunately involved in a fire, and it was a major loss. So luckily, the listing that I was working for wasn't damaged. We only lost a door when emergency services tried to come in and save everyone. But yeah, that whole building was gone. So something to think about. Um, Number 4, strange noises. Unusual noises such as clanking pipes, whirling HVAC units, or electrical buzzing could be indicators of underlying issues. Have these investigated properly. My microwave started making some weird noises today. I am going to check it out. So please, if you start hearing clanking, some chinging, some shanking, something that shouldn't be moving or shaking, definitely call somebody. It's worth the $100 to check it. Inconsistent temperatures. If certain rooms are consistently too cold or too hot, your HVAC system may not be operating at peak efficiency, signaling the need for attention. I'll also make this comment that sometimes HVAC systems are not installed properly, and not everyone installs HVAC systems the same way. So that can be very hard to tell if an HVAC system is being one used to its best efficiency for a location in the home that it's being used, and two, is it actually serviceable? Is it in good shape and working order? Has it been on? Has it been well maintained? And has the use been moderate or has it been extreme? Those are kind of a two-tier sort of question when it comes to HVACs. I learned that the hard way one time when we were trying to service one, and it more than anything else came down to the fact that there was not enough HVAC for the house. We needed a different sort of unit for everything to work correctly. So it was a hodgepodge of different units and pieces that had been done over time. And that can be very difficult. That's why any good HVAC technician will sometimes suggest, redoing the whole system, just so that they can design it from scratch. Because in the long run, it can really make a difference for the efficiency. But, cost and be prohibitive for something like that because they're literally going into the walls and redoing everything. So something to think about. Number 6, water stain or leaks. Water stains on walls or ceilings or the presence of leaks could significantly indicate problems with a plumbing or roof. Addressing these issues early can prevent further damage. In the roof, it's a tricky one because it can be very hard to tell before you notice it. But always make sure do routine inspections, probably every 3 months or so, and just look on your home. Another key place to look at is bath. Sure that you are paying attention to the bath, especially if you don't have good ventilation in your bathroom. Uh, make sure you're opening up a window or cracking open a door so that air is your temperature of choice. If you like to be that boiled chicken there, go ahead and just open it up so that there is some ventilation, because bathroom walls are just the same like any other walls. And 9 times out of 10, you'll find that the paint inside that covers those walls is not water resistant. Therefore, you could have water and moisture permeate over time into the drywall and start to develop mold and other, bacteria and fungus in there if you do not have good ventilation. So the key is to not overwhelm the paint and have it permeate or sit too long on the surface. So to do that is to make sure there's good ventilation so that that dew drop and that moisture kind of evaporates out of there as soon as possible. Having a good fan in the bathroom is another great way to mitigate that. So always keep an eye out. Look after majors too. That could be a big thing. Leaks, and then again, check out your utility bills. Make sure that you're not having any leaks that are maybe not inside the house, but maybe outside of the house. That's always something as well. Electrical issues, frequent trips of circuit breakers, flickering lights, or outlets that spark are potential electrical problems that should be addressed promptly. We do not play with electrical or plumbing. Those are the two things you need to pay for. Get someone that's licensed, get someone that's insured and bonded, make sure they have their credentials and their numbers, make sure their licenses are current at least within the last 2 years and within the next 2 years. And yeah, just do your research with that, because electrical can come back and bite you in the butt, because it's really in the walls. You're not going to see it until it's too late, and before you know it, the whole place could go up in flames. Number 8, outdated wiring or plumbing. If your home has outdated wiring or plumbing materials, it might be time for an upgrade to meet current safety standards and improve efficiency. There was a huge problem with certain materials. There was a huge problem with certain building materials. There was this huge problem with insulation materials. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please talk to a realtor in your local area to find out more. There are recalls on certain products. There are products that are not good. And there are products that are in the home that eventually will need to be changed, regardless of whether or not you buy the house. It is technically working order. Technically, it's okay and it's serviceable. But anyone that's in the know, anyone that is in the business, anyone that's in the industry and knowledgeable will tell you, hey, this is not top of the line. This is not up to code. This has particular flaws for which this recall was conducted. In particular, I'm talking about certain types of plumbing that would under certain degrees of temperature, or would just simply burst and deteriorate much faster than was expected when it was originally purchased for the homes, or just a plethora of other things that are just not meant for what they were used for, or didn't meet up to the expectations that were made up by the manufacturer, to be honest. Number nine, decreased efficiencies. Systems are no longer performing efficiently, such as HVAC units, can struggle to maintain desired temperatures and may benefit from repairs or upgrades. I always suggest, and it can be costly, to work out a service plan with your local providers so that they come out every 3 to 6 months to service it out. If you budget, it becomes a lot more manageable. No one wants to pay this huge chunk of money out front. And over time, it's a lot more easy to service a unit than just doing these big old replacements, because by the time a technician gets out there for that big old fix, the unit has suffered enough damage, either because of the initial destruction of the initial call, or just because one piece broke another piece, that broke another piece, that broke another piece, that broke the whole thing. And that's really how it goes. It's just like a car. These units work just like vehicles, and they're just big devices that really are the sidecar and lungs and um, circulatory and neural system of your home, if you really want to look at it that way. A person told me one time, the analogy of a home being like a body, and the electrical system is the nervous system, and the HVAC system is the lungs, and the water system is the circulatory, the lifeblood, and then the sewage is of course, the digestive difficulties. So those are all things that are very cute, and she had a nice little diagram with little faces. So um, make sure that your lungs, your circulatory system, all these other key components of your own body are working well. And I'm sure that your home will be working just as fine. Lastly, safety concerns. Any issues that pose a safety risk, such as gas leaks, exposed wires, or structural problems, should be addressed immediately to ensure the well being of occupants and your visitors. To be honest, I've gone into properties where there are just wires exposed. There's just high voltage cabling just hanging near children. Um, Properties that have smelled like gas as soon as I walk in. If you don't know what gas smells like, gas is technically odorless, but they taint most fuel with the odor of a very distinct odor, and most people will describe it as rotten eggs. It's a rotten egg smell, very pungent, rotten, distinct egg smell. And if you smell that going into a property, get out of there as soon as possible. Call somebody, and if the person you do call that's in charge of that property doesn't give you the time of day the way that you feel that they should, feel free and call some authorities. The last thing you want is to be involved, or the last person that was in a property that has a gas leak. Um, Oh, goodness, it bring mind what just happened in Virginia the other day. It was so loud we heard here in Gaithersburg. So it was, for those that don't know, an explosion of a gas leak inside of I think it was a 500 gallon tank inside of a luxury home, and it blew so loud that I think people here in Gaithersburg reported the shock waves and the sound. So yeah, we don't play with gas, electrical, plumbing. These are all things, big things you do not want to play with. You don't want to buy these systems. Just so you know, never, ever, ever, ever touch gas lines. You are not allowed to, and it is actually illegal. Washington Gas, any appropriate gas entity that works with them, will fine you if they find out that you have been tampering with it, and they have ways to investigate. So, last thing you want is to have someone come in that's not authorized to work on that. So, make sure you're working within your scope of industry. For those of you that are just tuning in, we are talking about the 10 signs it's time to repair the major systems in a home. And to recap, the 10 signs are: 1, age of the system; 2, frequent repairs; 3, increased utility bills; 4, strange noises; 5, inconsistent temperatures; 6, water stains or leaks; 7, electrical issues; 8, out wiring or plumbing; 9, decreased efficiencies; and 10, safety concerns. It regular it takes regular inspections and addressing issues promptly to maintain the safety and security and longevity of systems inside of a home, and to prevent more significant problems down the line. A little bit of prevention can go a long way. So if you have any questions about what systems you should tackle during what seasons, feel free and leave me a message. Go ahead and scan the QR code up in the corner. It takes me right to to my website, yourrealtorhugo.com. And yeah, feel free and leave your questions, comments, concerns, and let's chat about what systems you should be maintaining and when and with who. I have a bunch of referrals I can probably send you of different services that are in the area. So let me know if you need that. If not, do research online. Make sure you just get good referrals. Talk to family members that have good referrals for you. And as always, just do your research. A little research goes a long way, just the same way prevention does. Okay. So I really do appreciate all of you tuning in. Thank you for watching on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna put the code up there one more time so you guys can see it. We on the road over there to be able to go live more often. So please follow on all your favorite platforms. Hugo, the number 4, Long and Foster, and share with someone that you know that likes real estate, that likes or likes learning more about real estate. There is no pressure, no commitment to talk to me, so feel free and give me a holler. I'm always here to help, and I love talking about real estate. I think it's one of the easiest ways for people to make money and to also build stability, not only for themselves but also for their family members. So I really do appreciate all of you tuning in. Thank you for watching on your platform of choice, and I will see you all in tomorrow for another live about real estate and how it can benefit you and those around you. I'm your host, Hugo Quintanilla. Long and Foster, North Potomac, Rockville is the company that pays me, and I specialize in real estate in Montgomery County, Maryland. My phone number 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com, and my website is realtorhugo.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I appreciate you. I will catch you tomorrow, and that's it. Another one. Bye.